Hello and welcome back to The Elegant Life. Well, this is a bit of a different scenery. It's been a while since I've taken you in my car and driven you around the Mediterranean, yet I'm on my way to get my manicure, and something has been on my mind because I was speaking to a client about this, and I thought, why not share it with you here? And this is about how much as women growing up in this masculine world that we have been trained to always ask for permission for what we want. Like, is it okay that I want that? Is it all right? We also have been trained to ask an authority figure, and only if that authority figure gives us the okay that we are capable, that we can do it, then we accept that we can do it. We feel validated. And the other thing is that we've been so trained as women to compare ourselves with others. And this starts back in school. It really was about grades. What did you get? What did you get? Oh, you need to get higher. You're not good enough. You need to push harder. It becomes exhausting as a woman. And you know what it does? It totally disconnects us from who we've been created to be. And then we just stay stuck and we don't go for the lives that are in our soul. So I wanted to talk about this training that we've had, and most importantly, how to get out of that. So come along with me as I drive to my manicure appointment. We chat a little bit. I show you some of the scenes and have a really good chat about this disempowering way that we as women have been trained to live. All done. Feeling like me again. So we're back at my home now. Let's just chat now about this training of us, or this conditioning of us. And, I think a lot of it starts when we start going to school because, being a former school teacher, right? We need to have some order in the classroom. And so if you want to speak, you have to raise your hand, right? But what I didn't do in my classroom was make kids ask me permission to go to the toilet. It drove me crazy when teachers used to make you ask, can I go to the bathroom? I had one British teacher that scared me when she said, I don't know, can you? Like, that freaked me out because we just had to always ask for permission. And when she questioned, why would you be asking? It's like, well, because I have to, don't I? And so I think we need to start taking back our sovereign power as human beings, first of all, and as women, as adult women. We have to retrain our brains and get out of that society conditioning that we need to ask people for permission to be able to follow our dreams. How many times have you wanted your partner to say that it's okay to go for your dreams, or you want the approval of your family members to go for your dreams? Is it okay? Is it going to be all right for you if I go for my dreams? I have so many clients that say to me, I don't know, I want to start a podcast. Is that okay? Or things that they want to do to pleasure themselves with their own body. Is that okay? Because I was told by spiritual leaders that that's not good. And what I want us to do, ladies, is to use our own internal compass to be able to see what feels right for us. The Buddha said it well. Don't accept my teachings as truth. Try them and see if they are truth for you, right? And this is what I really had to learn to do myself, because being a good girl, always being praised for being the good girl, always trying to be perfect and not messing up, in my first marriage, I remember I wanted to go away for the summer because it was a dream of mine to go and live in France. And they had kind of a special program for teachers to go away to France for the whole month and live in the culture and experience it and practice your French. And because I was in a committed relationship with them, I was asking him if it was okay if I did it. And he was like, you're going to be away the whole summer. What am I going to do? And blah, 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 blah. But I had to give myself permission to go for my own dreams and let others deal with their insecurities, whatever inconveniences it's going to have on them. I mean, yes, we have to be thoughtful. We can't just up and leave our kids. But look, there are certain things placed within us, and we don't have to ask anybody for permission. We need to give ourselves permission to do what we are being called to do. Now, how do you even start giving yourself permission or going for your dreams? This can be so tricky because, as I said, I've been there where I used to ask everybody for permission. Do you think it's a good idea? Even when I was making the choice to see, should I go to France? I was sitting, for all you Canadians out there, you'll know, I was sitting at an Earl's restaurant and I was talking to a guy who was in a group of friends, and I had never met this guy, and I'm asking him for permission. And I actually went to France more because he said, you need to do this. Like, thank God he said that. But I was still at that time when I was saying, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's okay? Do you think, what's the first step if you're someone who's been really trained and conditioned for this? And I don't care if you're in your 30s or in your 60s. This conditioning runs so deep that I want to give you some tips as to how I've overcome this and also how I've coached some of my private clients to start doing this for themselves. The first tip that I want to give you is to shift the internal dialogue that we have running within us. And the first part of that is to start observing and even like writing down the times when you are seeking approval or permission from someone else. This could be anything from making a career move to even making a lifestyle change. Maybe you want to follow a certain way of eating and yet your partner doesn't. And you're waiting for them to say, will you do it with me? Will you please? No, you're a sovereign being. You get to decide, is this the kind of lifestyle that you want to start living and trying out? Right? So whether it's a career move, whether it's a lifestyle change, whether it's maybe a creative project that you want to start, notice if there's this lingering sense of wanting approval before you start, or permission before you start. Notice those things, because if we don't notice them, we can't change them. So that's the first step. And then when you catch yourself doing that, change your inner dialogue right at that moment and say, no. I am the authority in my life. Or I trust my inner wisdom. What this will do is gradually replace the habit that you have of asking everybody for validation or approval with internal validation, okay? And if any of you have my Elegant Life Journal, there is a section in there where we call it declarations. Who are you declaring that you are? And this could be some of the ones you start writing if you notice this is something in your life that you really need to change. So I am the authority of my life. I am a sovereign being who makes choices based on what I am desiring. Like, really use those I am statements for a while until that internal dialogue shifts into you being the authority of your life. Okay, here's tip number 2. Tip number 2 is practicing self-compassion over comparison. So again, it always starts with becoming aware of when you are comparing yourself. And I know a lot of people talk to me about social media, because what we're doing is really watching someone's highlight reel. And we are living our day-to-day life, which is sometimes quite, simple, but it's just habitual things that we wouldn't take a picture of or highlight on our social media. And yet, when people have certain social media accounts where they really feature themselves or their life, they are shooting highlight reels. I can't tell you the number of times that I've been with families where they are like screaming at each other, and the husband and wife are yelling, saying, "Get the kids, you get the kids, calm down, sit there, get there." And then they smile, they take a picture, and that's what goes on Instagram. And so you wouldn't have known about all that chaos that just happened before. And this happens over and over and over. So let's say you see something on social media and it triggers you because you don't have that, or you're not living that, or you're not living there, or you don't have that relationship in your life, whatever it is, notice it. And at that very moment, that's the moment where you want to reframe the situation. You can say something about your life that is unique, something that you love about your life, or even just celebrate a personal strength of yours in that moment. So when your mind is about to celebrate someone else or to become envious of someone else, really notice that comparison and then say to yourself, I'm happy for them and I'm so grateful for my ability to be able to do blank. Or I'm very happy for them. They've shown me that certain things are possible and I honor my own path. Because the thing is, ladies, this is what the elegant life is all about. It's about empowering you to lead your elegant life, not mine, not Susie's, not Alana's, your own life. You have specific dreams, specific talents, and all of that special programming and coding that's in your energetic being that wants to be expressed is the only thing you really need to focus your time and energy on. Forget someone else's definition of what success is. What is your definition of success? Have you ever spent time thinking about that? If you watched my video, which I'll put a link here, on the steps to self-actualization, step number 1 is know thyself. And the reason for that is the only way you're going to live a life that feels totally expansive, whole, fulfilling, and like full of joy and vitality is when you're living a life that's in alignment with who your true self is. That's the truth. So every time you try to compare yourself to someone else is every time that you're going off your authentic true self. And happiness is not found over there. It's found here, when the ways you're being and the ways you're living and the things you're prioritizing and spending your time on and your money on are aligned with you. So I'm grateful for my unique ability to is a great phrase. And again, if you have My Elegant Life journal, there is a spot in there for really showing gratitude for everything that you have in your life. And this is why I have it in there, because it's so key to see your life and see how much abundance you have in it, what you appreciate, and what you really don't actually care about. Okay, so let me move on to tip 3. The third tip is to actually visualize your authority and your desires. Now, what I want you to do right now is to close your eyes. And if you desire to be a woman who has feminine confidence, who is her own sovereign authority in her life and goes for her desires, if I asked you to close your eyes and see a movie of you being that woman, what would you tell me you are seeing? How are you holding your body? What are you doing? Who are you being? What do you look like? What are you enjoying? What are you saying yes to? And how are you feeling? See that movie. What does it feel like to say yes to your desires without hesitation or justification? And if any of you are really struggling with this and really want to shift out of this and into your power, I really recommend my meditation called Start Your Day with Elegance and Flow meditation, because there's a step in it where you actually do this kind of visualization. It is life-changing. It is the meditation that I do before I actually use my Elegant Life journal. So if you want a 1-2 punch of self-empowerment, use that meditation and then follow it up with my Elegant Life journal and pick your color. We've got feminine pink, elegant black, and luxurious green. The final tip to really make this shift in your life is to take just one small yet bold step towards whatever dream you have in your heart. Whether it's that career move, whether it's that creative project, or whether it's that lifestyle change, take one small, bold step. Can you change by just having a green drink in the morning? Can you do a LinkedIn search for careers? Can you contact a headhunter? Can you phone someone that's been in your heart to call and you've just been too nervous to call? Or maybe send them an email. Can you buy the domain name of the website you want to create or the blog you want to start? Take that one small, bold move. Give yourself permission and feel the empowerment that overcomes you. Then back it up with all of this stuff that we talked about. The visualization, the writing of your declarations about yourself, changing your inner dialogue to be, I am the authority of my own life. I'm the one who makes decisions about my life and decide whether something is for me or isn't for me. And when you compare yourself, you absolutely celebrate that person for it. And then you immediately reframe and say, I am so grateful that I am unique in this, that my personal strengths are this, and I love who I was created to be. Okay? Your dreams are unique and worthy, and you don't need permission to pursue them. You've been given permission simply because they've been put in you. Remember that true freedom comes from trusting yourself, trusting that you are an authentic, sovereign being, and knowing that you are the best authority over your life. So on that note, ladies, I want you to go out there and make this a truly elegant, authentic week. And I'll see you next time.